Good morning, welcome to shul.com at the Surfside Kolel Boker. Today we are discussing something that's, very pertinent to every single male in Am Yisrael. What is it? We wear tefillin every single day. This box, it was interesting when there was that rally last week in Washington, D.C. A lot of people were wearing tefillin in the morning and a lot of press took photos. And so I looked at some comments on X, formerly Twitter, and I saw there that a lot of people are wondering, what are those boxes on the head? And one guy commented, he said, it's a GoPro. All right, it's not a GoPro, but maybe it has that effect of being able to see and record everything around. But we wear tefillin every single day. What's inside of the boxes? Good question, no? And most people actually know, you'll see, if you ask people, they'll know, but they're not so confident in being able to answer. Today I'm going to give you those answers. I'm going to give you all the opinions, the four major, but not all, there's many opinions. I'm going to give you four major opinions of tefillin, what's inside of them, what are the differences, how you can identify all the differences on them. So we will begin with the halakha. The halakha is that we were tefillin Rashi. Now, when I say it's called TEFILLIN Rashi, it's not that Rashi HaKadosh was the one who implemented this or discovered it. This was tefillin already existed from the time of Moshe Rabennu. It says that God wears tefillin. So what do you mean? It's just the differences in opinion that we have today. We are holding them according to Rashi, and we'll see the other ones today. So inside of the tefillin, let me bring it up for you right here. I have all of them here in front of me. You will see here the tefillin. Okay, you take a look at it. This is the tefillin Rashi. Now, mine have are painted black on the front and on the back. That's not required. It is required on the front. The front has to be 100% painted black. Okay?
Everybody is like that.
No, but you'll see soon that I'm going to show you tefillin that in the back they're not black. Now the front of it has the strings have to be black. That's halakha le Moshe miSinai. We have no reason as to why that is, other than Moshe Rabennu told us that you have to paint it black. So if you notice, there are four little compartments here, and you'll notice on one side, on the left, it'll have the four-letter shin, which we don't know how to pronounce. The Mashiach or Eliyahu and Nabi Zachulatov will tell us how to pronounce that letter. We don't know. We know that on a shin, on the other side, the three, you see that one? That we know can be a shin or a sin. Every letter in the Hebrew alphabet has a different sound. Amongst Ashkenazim, it's all mishubash. That's why they make a lot of mistakes. I shouldn't say mistakes. Their misorah is not the authentic misorah. And how to pronounce? How do I know it's not authentic? I'm not offending any Ashkenazim, because you can have letters that have the same sound. So if they tell me a samech and a sin are the same, that means it's not the same. Or if they tell me a tav is a sav, it doesn't work. It can't work. Every letter has to have a unique letter. Like if you notice in Hebrew, sometimes you have the letter gimel, but sometimes the gimel has a dot in it, right? And sometimes it's jimel, or like the temanim do. Or like if you notice the temanim, they say the letter tav, depending on whether it has a dot in it, it's a th or a ta. So it has that. And there are other letters just like that. So a person needs to know that every single letter in the Hebrew alphabet has a different sound. Or like if you notice, we have an Italian Baal Kore here. How does he say the vav? Whoa. And if you notice the Italian also, the ayin, they say ang. Now, I'm not telling you that we have to do it this way, but what we see is that different communities kept different letters closer to them. Some, because their host countries had languages that did not have those sounds, they seemingly, over the course of time, it changed. So, Sfaradim have a way, Temanim have a way, and I have no doubt that when the Mashiach does appear in our generation, in our time, he's going to recorrect us in how to say a lot of the letters. So we have these four compartments here. What's inside of these compartments? So today I brought some papers so we can take a look. So in the tefillin of Rashi, let's hold it up for the camera right there, and then I'll show it to you guys. You'll notice that from the right to the left, there are four parashiyot inside of the Shel Rosh. That's why it's divided, if you notice, in four different compartments, because there's actually four boxes inside, four little compartments. The first one is Kadesh li kol bechor, which we say in the morning. Then it's followed by V'hayaki Aviacha, which is the parasha right after it. Then you have Shema, and then you have V'haya im Shamoa. You see that? 4 different compartments. Now, if you notice, there's another thing about the Rashi tefillin which is unique, is that you see those little couple of hairs there, that's given over for the Satan. Why? We're not going to talk about today, but it's a little piece given over, a little couple of hairs. You see that? And you'll notice it, you see here, it's sticking out. You see that there? You see it's right there. See those little hairs sticking out? Now, if you notice, the hairs are towards the right or left, depending on how you're looking at it, but it's towards the side. You see that? It's on there. I'm going to show you the other tefillin today. You see that? So if someone's wearing a tefillin, I can look at the box and identify whether it's a Rashi or the other opinion, which we're going to come up with now, depending on where the hairs are. That's that one. Okay? Let's continue. Now, in the shel yad, on the hand, there is only one scroll inside there. Now, according to the opinion, the way you did the box, the way you did the clefs here is the way you're going to do the clefs on the hand. So if it's in the order like Rashi does, Kadesh Li, Vahaya, Shema, and Vahaya Im Shamoa, if it's in that order, then it will also be the same in the arm one. But it's only one scroll in here. So it's one box of scroll here, and you have 4 scrolls. So the total tefillin is a total of 5. He's got to write 5 separate different scrolls to make it kasher. There is another type of tefillin, we could take this, which is called the tefillin of Rabennu Tam. Rabennu Tam. Now, according to Shulchan Aruch, someone who has the fear of God should wear Rabennu Tam. Chama Vajay Yosef used to wear Rabennu Tam, and many of the Gedolim wore. They wore 2 separate tefillins. You'll notice that some people wear 2 tefillins together, little mini ones, little micro ones. And that's according to the Kabbalah and the Sod. One of the reasons why I've never done it is only because I studied a little bit of Hilchot Sefrut, and writing small tefillin and maintaining them over the course of time is a bigger issue than the slightly larger ones. Because when you write them really small, and between the heat, humidity, traveling, and time, they deteriorate more and more people that have inspected them have found sometimes that there are issues with them. So why put yourself at risk? So many of the Gedolim didn't wear 2 together. Some did. Some of the Mikubalim did. So it's a risk. And I spoke with the Rosh Koleh, Rabbi Max Maslaton in Ketetzion, and I asked him, I'm like, why don't you wear the 2 mini ones? He's like, because I saw the way they were written. I saw the quality, and I was concerned about the issue. Therefore, I decided to just wear regular ones. Hamavajah did it, and you will be fully yotzeh if you want to wear 2 by wearing just 2 separate ones. If you are confident in the small tefillin and you know the exact location where to put it on the head, it's okay. But it is brought down. Rabbi Mansur wears 2 of the mini ones. He used to wear 2 separate ones, and then he got 2 mini ones, and he wore them. Rabbi Benyahu Shmueli wears 2 mini ones. I saw him when we were in Lag BaOmer in Israel. I watched him on shul.com. You can actually see a video how he puts on his tefillin. I recorded it so that we know how the Gedolim wear their tefillin, and you can see how he puts it on. So Rabennu Tam is a different opinion. Rabennu Tam says, no, we don't do it in that way, in the order of Rashi. We do it a little bit different. How do we do it according to him? Let's take a look. According to Rabennu Tam, he says, if you take a look, let's show it to the camera, and then we'll explain it. Now, Rabennu Tam has a few differences. First, it starts off with Kadesh, Li, and Vahaya, just like Rashi. So he starts off in the same way of Rashi, but what does he have the next parasha? Not Shema, Vahaya, and then Shema. You see that? So the compartments, still 4 compartments, but the parashiot have a slight switch in them. That's Rabennu Tam's opinion. Again, the opinions were really predated them, but today, for the discussion, those were the final ones that had them. Now, why do it in this way? Because there's 2 different opinions. One says do it according to the order of the Torah, the way the Torah has those parashiot. The other one says, no, you put the 2 Vehayas together, and you do the Kadesh, and then the Shema at the end, as you see it here. Now, if you notice, on the bottom, there's a little bit of the red hairs that are on the box. You see that? Where are the red hairs located on the Rabennu Tam? In the center. You see? I'll show it to you here, up close. Now, what I did with my Rabennu Tam is that if you notice on my Rashis, I had them with black and then black on this side. When it came to Rabennu Tam, I actually just had them painted black on, which you have to on the front, but I left the other side just the natural color of the leather. That way I can quickly identify where they are. But for the Rosh, it's easy to identify. Why? Because if you notice, the hairs on this one are in the center. You see that?
Oh, the other ones on the side?
They're they're towards the right. So So it's in between. So if I see somebody wearing Rabennu Tam, I can know if the hairs are in the center, that's a Rabennu Tam. Now, when it comes to the Shel Yad, you cannot identify a difference of a Shel Yad looking at a Rashi and a Rabennu Tam. So what did I do there? Well, first I had the differences in the color on the leather by having it that way. But what's another way I did, and I saw this in one of the Sofers, he did it, it's very smart, that was a great idea, is that he labeled the end of the strings. I'll show it to you right here. And he wrote at the end of it just like that. He just wrote Resh Tav on it, and he identified. So this way, you don't forget, because if you on your Shel Yad, it's very easy to mix it up. So happened one time that by mistake, I didn't have it done this way. I was still in the beginning. I still got married, and I was still early on wearing them. And by mistake, I actually was putting on my Rabennu Tam, saying the Beracha on it. And I remember going to Rabbi Mansur, I'm like, you don't believe what happened. I by mistake put them into the wrong bags. And I actually, at the time I had them both in similar bags. Today, what I did is I actually have, this is the Rabennu Rashi one, which says Rashi on the bottom. It's a different color. And then did a completely different pattern for Rabennu Tam. So I did a lot of things to identify, I don't make this mistake again. But I told him, like, I ended up making a beracha on the Rabennu Tam, and it was Rashi, and what had happened, he's like, it's okay. It's actually brought down in the Sfarim that a person who wears Rabennu Tam, it will happen at least sometime in his life where he does it, and it's brought down that it's okay. It's okay. It's not a beracha lebatala. He ended up wearing both. It's okay. And he said that's, you know, in the Shamayim, Rabennu Tam will be very proud that, you know, somebody said a beracha on his tefillin. So let's take this one.
Is there no opinion that you can wear Rabennu Tam daily, and that being the kind of your go-to?
Okay, no opinion. You have to follow Rashi. According to many of the opinions, when you pray mincha, you can wear Rabennu Tam. So on fast days, some of the rabbis, like Rabbi Mansur in New York, on the fast days would say wear Rabennu Tam for mincha. I would wear the Rashi, not because I was opposing his opinion, because I did a calculation of how many berachot I was going to do on a day on a fast day. On a fast day, you're not eating. You're not saying beracha rishona, not beracha acharona. A lot of Asher Yatzars are not going to be there. I made my calculation on a few of the fast days, and I said, if I'm going to put Rabennu Tam, I'm going to be missing out on another extra beracha, so I would wear the Rashi on many of the days that are fast days. But if on a regular day, if I'm going to put tefillin for mincha, I'll put the Rabennu Tam, not the Rashi.
Do we wear the Rashi mostly?
Yes.
Because he was first? Or?
No, the opinions predated Rashi. It's not that Rashi themselves, it's just that today we are giving the credit to Rashi, that his opinion, but these opinions predated him from Moshe Rabennu. Moshe Rabennu had two tefillin according to some of the opinions. So remember, there's mahloket on all this, but today the halakha is Rashi. If a person has to wear only Rashi, you only have to wear one tefillin. You do not have to wear two. You only need to wear one. There's no commandment to wear two. If you wear two, that's good. There's actually people that wear three. We're going to talk about that right now. There is another shita nosefet. What's that shita? That is shita of called the Shimusha Raba. It's another rabbi. He wrote a book called Shimusha Raba, and he has the seder just like Rashi does. Take a look. Remember the Rashi, the way it was Kadesh Li, V'haya and Shama and V'hayim Shamawa. You see that? So if you notice, it says in green. It says Yamin. You see that? Miyamin, from the right. So that is Rashi's opinion. Now the other opinion of Shimusha Raba is actually the same way in the Parashiyot, but he does something a little bit different. He changes it from the left side. Right. Take a look. Let's show it in the camera. So the Shimusha Raba has a few things that are different, but if you notice, it's the same. The Parashiyot is like Rashi, just flip the side. Again, still 4 Parashiyot on the top, one scroll on the bottom. It's just the order it goes from left to right as opposed to Rashi's right to left.
And when he writes it on the arm, it's the Rashi way or that way?
Oh, so let's take a look at what he says here. So that Shimusha Raba, he has Sheseder HaParashiyot Kemo Rashi, Ach misemol velo miyamin, שזה יוצאת ימין למניח. על כן, אם כן, לפי שערות העגל של הפרשיות, והיה עם שמוע יצאו מהחור שבין השלישי לרביעי משמאל, כי והיה עם שמוע ממקומות משמאל לנו. Okay, let me show you this and I'm going to explain to you. He says also, remember I told you the hairs on Rashi are right here, one compartment over on the right. When it came to Shimusha Raba, the hairs were one to the left. So a couple of things, and we're going to go into your question. So the parashiyot go from left to right, as opposed to right to left, and the hairs will be one compartment over. All right, let's continue on this. And then the shel yad would be in the same exact order. It would start v'haya im shamoa shema v'haya kivecha and kadesh, the same exact way on one scroll on the arm. Now there is actually a fourth opinion. Now I've never seen anyone wear the fourth opinion. The only person that I have seen wear Shimusha Raba, and the Shimusha Raba also is a larger compartment on the box compared to this Rashi one, which is, let's say, this size. The Shimusha Raba are generally larger. They're on a bigger size. Now, the only person I've ever seen wear it like daily was Rabbi Muheddeb, Rabbi Yitzhak Muheddeb from Yamat Torah in Brooklyn. He was the only one that I actually saw like daily wearing it. I'm sure there's others that do it. I'm saying from Brooklyn when I was there, he was one that I noticed wore it. Okay, just throw that out so we have it. Now there's a fourth opinion, and we're going to end with this one, and that's the da'at of the RAAVAD. Take a look at it. This is the da'at of the RAAVAD, and I'll explain to you right now. Take a look at that. That's the da'at of the RAAVAD. This is the fourth opinion. If I'm not mistaken, there's over 30 opinions in the Gemara, but I'm talking about the four that you'll actually see. You'll see. So the da'at of the RAAVAD, if you notice, the hairs are in the center. You see that? Just like Rabennu Tam. You see that? Over there. He has the Shema and the V'haya im Shamoa, V'haya Kivecha and Kadesh. So what's the difference here? It's just like Rabennu Tam, but the opposite, from left to right as opposed to right to left. Okay, that's the fourth opinion. The hairs are in the center. So take a look. Let me show you the Rabennu Tams here, right here. See the Rabennu Tam has the Kadesh on the right. This one has on the right. So Rabennu Tam and RAAVAD are the same, except they start from the opposite directions. The hairs are both in the center, and you have them.
So the only difference between this one, the fourth one, and Rashi is just that the hairs are in the middle.
Let's take
and the order of the Parashiyot.
Left to right.
And the hair is in the middle, and you have here. Take a look here. You have it starts from the opposite side.
Yeah.
Look, see, Rashi starts the Kadesh.
So he's like
The Rabennu Tam, except opposite. He's the same thing like Rabennu Tam, but he starts from the opposite side. Hairs on the center. And now, an interesting thing about that RAAVAD is that someone might tell you that RAAVAD, and you might say, oh, okay, there's 3 different rabbis that had the same acronym RAAVAD. So just know that if someone ever references you the RAAVAD, and you want to feel like you are well-versed, tell them which RAAVAD. Tell them which one. There's 3. Which one did you refer to? And they all lived at different times, so it's kind of interesting on that. Let's finish it. Da'at HaRAAVAD.
Which one is this?
Which one?
Which RAAVAD is this?
Oh, it's a good question. I'm actually not sure. Da'at HaRAAVAD, he שסדר הפרשיות יהיה כמו רבנו תם, אך משמאל לנו, שזה ימין למניח. אם כן, והיה אם שמוע שממוקמת בשלישי משמאל לנו. And he says that. Now, מקור המחלוקת. What's the source of this? כתוב בגמרא מסכת מנחות למד ד' עמוד ב'. תנו רבנן, כיצד סדרן? The rabbi is asked, how was the order? קדש לי והיה כי יביאך מימין, שמה והיה אם שמוע משמאל, והתניא. And they said, no, we have a brighta, ifcha. It's the opposite. אמר אביי, לא קשיא. כאן מימינו של קורא, כאן מימינו של מניח. And that was the Gemara. המילים שמה והיה אם שמוע משמאל יכולות להתפרש שהן כתובות ומוכנסות משמאל לימין כדעת רבנו תם והרעב"ד. That's one of them. שיוצא שהיה אם שמוע קודם לשמה מימין, או שהן מונחות בצד שמאל של תפילין כשיטת רש"י והשימושה רבה. כמו כן נחלקו האם קדש לי והיה כי יביאך מימין. There was an argument of the middle parashiyot on them. הוא מימינו של קורא, העומד מול המניח, כביכול קורא את הפרשיות שבתוך התפילין. השולחן ערוך פסק, הלכה למעשה, שיש להניח את התפילין כשיטת רש"י. We only wear the one of Rashi. אך הוסיף שירא שמיים יניח גם תפילין כשיטת רבנו תם. Now, important to note, it says here, someone who has a fear of the heaven, he should wear Rabennu Tam. So, how do you do yeah. Not together, but separately, according to the Shulchan Aruch. So who is that person that is a Yareh Shamayim? Couple of things. If you're taking off your Tefillin Rashi during Chazarat HaShatz in order to put on Rabennu Tam, it's wrong. You're not supposed to do that. The Chazarat HaShatz is on a higher level than the Amidah that's quiet. So if a person is doing that, I don't know if that characterization of Yirat Shamayim fits there. If a person talks during the tefillah, if he talks during the Torah, he talks during the Hazara, he talks during the Amidah. Because this guy is talking in shul, he's not a guy that should be wearing Rabennu Tam. He's not under the category of Yirat Shamayim. That's a very basic. Why? Because the same Shulchan Aruch who told you not to talk in tefillah, that if someone does talk during Kaddish, you have to go erbo, tell them, what are you doing? You have to call him out on it. He's the same one who told you to pour that. So if you're going to use Shulchan Aruch, you got to use it fairly. Use it on the right thing. So if a person wants to wear Rabennu Tam, take upon yourself not to talk during the tefillah, not to talk during Hazara, and the Kiddusha, and all the other parts of the tefillah, and then wearing Rabennu Tam is more appropriate. Otherwise, Rabennu Tam might come to you one day and tell you, why are you wearing my tefillin? He told you Yirei Shamayim. You talked during the tefillah. You wear it during Hazara. You missed 3 berachot. So at least be fair. Be fair. You want to do it? Great. Elevate.
If you have Yirat Shamayim, then you can change your tefillin.
Not change. You add another one.
No, I'm saying,
You add.
People taking it off and put it on.
Yeah, but not during the Hazara.
But everybody does it at that time.
That's exactly why I'm pointing it out. Remember, that's exactly why I'm pointing it out. Remember,
No?
John, there's a reason why we come to learn here. We come to learn because we try to say the opinions, and I told you, I'm not embarrassed to tell people if they're doing something wrong. You know why? I do this because I enjoy learning and teaching, and people need to know that there's going to be a standard. That is the standard of where it's supposed to be. And if a person is doing it, then correct it. Stop doing it during Hazara. Hazara is on a very high level. And I think this is the message of today.
So when are you supposed to do it?
Do it after Ashrei Yosher B'techa and after Uva L'Tzion. Once you finish the Kaddish Tit Kabal, after you say Uva L'Tzion, Kadosh, 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 and then you do Kaddish Tit Kabal, the tefillah is officially over. What does that mean? If a person technically walked out of the tefillah, I'm not telling you to do this, but if a person technically walked after the Kaddish Tit Kabal, he's finished the tefillah. Of course, you should say until Aleinu and do the korbanot and do everything for sure. I'm not telling you not to do that, but for the sake of the tefillah, the end of the tit kabal kaddish is the closing of the tefillah. That's why the Hazan does Oseh Shalom, and then we do all the other prayers afterwards. So after that kaddish, during Beit Yaakov, during that time, or if you want to do even better, do it after Aleinu. And then what do you do when you wear Rabennu Tam? You say Shema, V'haya, V'ahavta, V'haya, and you say the whole Shema. Some people, you also say the Kaddish Li. I'll end with one good, interesting story. I was one time in Deal, New Jersey, and I had forgot my tefillin in Brooklyn. I was there for the weekend, and every weekend I take it, and for some reason I forgot it at work. I don't remember. This was before. Now today, I ended up getting multiple pairs. So I leave one pair at work, I leave one pair at home, one pair in Deal, I separate them. I was there, I was in Park Avenue Synagogue, and I'm looking for Rabennu Tam. I want to put them on. I put them on every day. Let me find somebody. I'm looking around. I see everyone. I start to identify who has 2 tefillin. I couldn't find anyone. And it was a Sunday morning, and it was packed. And I'm looking, who has a Rabennu Tam for me? Suddenly, I found the guy. I see him putting on the Rabennu Tam. I wait for him patiently. I'm like, I want to put on Rabennu Tam. Can I use yours? He goes, I'm a lefty. I go, oh, your lefty is the wrong side. I can't wear it. And
you can't use a lefty on.
No, it's the way it's wrapped differently. It's set up differently.
I know, but it won't say that you can do it. I've done it. It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable, but I was like, listen, it's not there. And the guy also wasn't thrilled that he was a lefty. I'm a righty. He didn't want to wait. I'm like, okay, fine, go. I'm not going to bother you. Go. So
it switches up to left to right, right to left.
Yeah. So
On top of that.
Yeah, and the difference is now. So I kept on looking, and I'm already there 15 minutes. I'm looking for a guy, Rabennu Tam. I couldn't find it. So I ended up going to the back room. I found one of these guys, a Shami guy was there, Shami guy thing, and I see him, I see he's putting Rabennu Tam. I said, can I put it on after? So he says, yes. I said, I have one condition. I said, I said, you're giving me conditions now. This is unbelievable. What's the condition? He says, you can't talk when you wear my Rabennu Tam tefillin. You just say the Shema, you say Kadesh Li, whatever you got to do, pray, and you're not allowed to talk any Divrei Chol. I said, whoa. I said, I don't believe it. I said, I have the same exact custom as you. When I wear my Rabennu Tam, I do not say anything other than the Shema and the Kadesh Li V'haya. I found this because I had one time in Brooklyn, Rabbi Meir Mazuz was over my home for Shabbat. And when Rabbi Meir Mazuz, my father invited him over, I had him over, and he asked me, do you wear Rabennu Tam? I said, yeah, I wear it. He goes, I'm going to give you a little secret. He goes, when you wear it, do not talk. It has a high level, and he says, use it whenever you have a major tefillah. You have something you want to ask from God, only use that one, because that one you didn't talk any divrei chol. And from that moment on, I took upon myself not to speak any divrei chol. So I put it on, I take it off, I do it fast because I don't want to waste time. I answer any phone, text message, nothing. I just put it on. I say the prayer, and I take it right off. And I said, look, the Borei Olam, he was proud that I did it with my tefillin. I took the Rabbi Meir Mazuz's advice. He said, I don't want to get you to put on the other guy's lefty one. That guy talked maybe divrei chol. I want to give you a guy who took upon himself the same thing. And you see this, when you end up doing these mitzvot, the Borei Olam opens doors for you, and you see them. And when you identify them and talk about them, God says, okay, you spoke about it, I will give you another opportunity and another beracha in your life. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.